Hi everyone, welcome back to another New Year's Challenge video brought to you in collaboration with WUUFLY. My name is Ree and today I get to guide you on a Yin Yoga sequence lasting about an hour. If you have any mobile phones or devices nearby, please put them onto silent so you can minimize disruption and really kind of focus on your practice today. Yin Yoga is really grounding. It's a very reflective practice. We'll be touching on the earth element, but we'll also be opening other parts of the body too. So consider this practice today as a nice all-over body stretch and an opportunity to unwind and relax. You're welcome to grab any props you might need, such as blankets, cushions, blocks, or bolsters. You're also welcome to play some nice soft music in the background so you can really unwind and relax. When you're ready, I'll see you on your mat in a moment. So our first posture today is a child's pose. So coming onto your knees, the knees can move a little wider to allow your tummy to move into the space. The toes can touch. You're going to walk your hands forwards, maybe extending the arms. And as you creep the hands forward, start to lower the forehead to the floor or onto a cushion or onto a block. Allow your hips to start to soften and lower towards your heels. Allow your head to be heavy on the mat. You can close your eyes here. Enjoy the length that you're feeling up the spine. And feel free to let your shoulders and arms soften, relaxing through the fingers and the knuckles. I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And just notice where you feel tightness, where you feel restriction. As you exhale, try to let that go. And as that eases, as that tension passes, notice the subtle shifts in your body. Continue with your breath, lengthening both the inhale and the exhale. Take 5 more deep breaths here, allowing the belly to expand when you inhale, moving into the space. Exhale, allow your body to melt into the floor, letting those thoughts leave your mind now. Bringing your awareness to the body's sensations in this asana. Noticing any tingling. Noticing where the energy is moving to. Very slowly, Start to lift your gaze. Inhaling, drawing yourself forwards onto your hands and knees, bringing the knees back underneath you, placing them under your hips, bringing your hands under your shoulders, just tucking the toes under. And we just very gently press up into downward facing dog. More to just stretch out. Taking any movements in your down dog, bringing your chin underneath you. And the heels can stay high, the knees can be soft here. Drawing forwards when you're ready, lowering the knees to the floor. Inhale, lift your gaze and open your chest. Untucking the toes, exhale, rounding the back here. Pulling that tailbone under. Gripping the mat with your fingertips. Inhale, slowly bringing your heart forwards. Lifting your gaze and feeling that nice arch in the spine. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Pushing the floor away. Inhale when you're ready, moving with your breath. Continue twice more, breathing in, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, rounding the back. Nice. Now, keeping your knees underneath your hips, I'm just going to move towards the back of my mat. Keep the hips high. We're going to walk the hands forwards and come into a melting heart pose. I like to take my hands slightly wider than shoulder width just to begin with, to allow my chest to open. You're welcome to use a bolster or a cushion underneath your chest or your head here. You're going to keep the hips or the bottom high as you lower chest towards the floor, and your forehead can rest on the mat. Make your adjustments so that you're really feeling the stretch between your shoulder blades, your upper back. Continue with your slow, deep breathing here. Just fully letting go as you exhale, easing the tension out the back and out the shoulders. Taking 5 more deep breaths here. Allowing that chest to sink a little lower. Allowing the shoulders to relax. slowing the breath right down. And from here, bring your hands to prayer. Place yourself a little bit more onto your elbows, with your forehead still on the mat. Lift your hands in prayer, just over your head here. Feeling that nice stretch through the shoulders. It starts to concentrate a little more deeply in the shoulders now. Keeping the forehead on the floor. Try and relax through the shoulders. Keeping the fingertips facing upwards. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Very slowly, start to come forwards. Bring your hands down and then gently lower down onto your hips, onto your belly. So from here we're going to move into a shoulder stretch. We're going to bring our right arm out to the side. And you're welcome to have the arm extended if you haven't done this stretch before. Or for a more intense shoulder opener, just bend the arm at the elbow at a 90-degree bend, palm of the right hand down. And you're going to roll over onto the right side of your body, maybe moving that elbow out the way and resting your head down on the mat. Start to bend the knees and bring them on top of each other. You can bring your left hand in next to your face, just to support you there. And start to let everything relax. This might be where you stay. If it's too intense, just walk that right arm out, that right hand out. That might make it a little easier, a little bit more comfortable. If you need more, you pick up your left foot and bring it behind you. But I'm quite happy with the arm in this position to have my legs on top of each other. And just coming back to your breath, slowing the breath down. Allow your shoulder to relax, but also relaxing through your entire body here. Very slowly, start to extend your legs and roll yourself back down onto your front, and just slowly bring the right arm in, and maybe you bring your hands on top of each other and rest your head on your hands like they're a pillow. And just take a moment to relax that right shoulder. And we'll do the other side while we're here. Bringing your left elbow out to the side palm of the left hand down. Rolling onto the left side of your body, bringing your knees in, resting your head on the mat. Maybe you bring your right hand in front of your face for stability. If it's too intense, just extend the left arm out to the side. If you want more, you can pick up your right leg and step the right foot behind you, keeping the knee lifted. Start to slow the breath down. Noticing how the shoulder feels. Noticing any differences on this side. Really nice. Start to extend the legs, rolling back onto your belly. And once again, bring your hands back underneath your forehead like a pillow and just take a moment to rest. And from here, start to bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Very gently lift yourself up. Walk yourself forwards and take your block or cushion or bolster. And we're just going to come, you may or may not need it, and we're just going to come into a saddle pose. I'm going to give you two options. I'm going to show you one option with the feet apart and the knees together. Now, try with the block first, having the heels outside the hips and then sitting your bottom on the block. If this is comfortable, then I would maybe attempt to remove the block or stay as you are. Some people don't like this internal rotation and strain on the knee joint. So some people choose to have the knees a little wider and bring the block again underneath their bottom. So just see how that feels. If you prefer it slightly wider, then go for it. I like to use the block, and I like to have my knees slightly apart. As we age, that's usually what the preferred choice is. You start to walk back on your hands. And this might be enough of a stretch for you. You might already be feeling a stretch in the knees. You might be feeling the quads stretching too. If you're happy here, you might want to lower down onto your elbows. Now, if you lower down onto the elbows and you feel like your hips are quite high, it might be time to remove the block. And if you lower down onto your elbows and you're perfectly comfortable, then that's also fine. It's quite nice to bring the block a little bit further up if you are coming towards the floor. So from here on your elbows, you can stay as you are. Again, this might be strong enough. If you want a little bit more, come down onto the block or come down onto your back and just allow yourself to recline here. Now your hands can rest either side, or you can maybe place your hands on your body somewhere. And just start to bring your awareness back to your breath. This is a very intense stretch, so if you've gone too deeply, just bring yourself back slowly into a place that works for you and your body. Slowing the breath down, really stressing the tissue and the joints here, which is a good thing, as long as you're not feeling any pain. Working into those quads, hips and knees. Slowing the breath down to really calm the nervous system. To trick your mind that you're comfortable and you're relaxed. And that you're enjoying this deep down. And take 5 more deep breaths here. And then gently make your way back up slowly. Maybe finding your elbows, your hands, moving forwards, bringing your hands down in front of you and just shifting your knees behind you, getting rid of the props. Just pause for a moment in your tabletop. Just take very gentle hip circles now, just moving the pelvis in little small circles in one direction. And then the other direction. And very gently find your way down onto your bottom. Help the legs out in front of you. You're welcome to sit on a blanket. We're going to move into butterfly, Baddha Konasana now. Bring the soles of your feet together. You're going to take a wide stance. So you move the feet away from your hips. So you create a diamond shape with your legs or a square. Sometimes taking a block, a bolster, or a cushion really helps if you struggle to lean forwards and fold into this deeply. And just placing the block or cushion underneath your chest or underneath your forehead, or using the bolster vertically to support your head here. Easing yourself towards the floor. Now do this carefully. We've just opened through the front of the body, so we are taking a counter pose here by folding forwards, working into the lower back, the hips, and the neck. So continue to ease forwards. You're allowed to bring your hands wherever you like. You can bring them underneath your legs. You could reach for your toes, whatever feels good. Coming back to your breath. If you're not feeling much, if this is very, very comfortable, you're not getting the benefit of this stretch, then start to lower your props or even remove them entirely. You'll get a lovely opening through the lower back in this posture. Really nice deep release. Just slowing the heart rate down with long, deep breaths. Make any adjustments again, maybe allowing yourself to go a little deeper, or walking the feet in, changing the alignment slightly, and just seeing if that changes the sensations for you in this posture. Taking another 5 deep breaths here. Allowing your body to relax, let gravity do the work. When you're ready, slowly start to unravel yourself out of this posture lifting back up. And then for a moment, just let the legs go long, maybe helping them, assisting them out in front of you. And just let the energy, the blood flow return to your feet, your knees, your hips. Maybe just lightly wiggling the toes. So I'm going to take my right leg out. You can also take your right leg out, or if you're mirroring me, take your left leg out. And then I'm going to bring my left foot, or the other foot, into the side of my right thigh. A bolster is really good for this side stretch, but you can also use a block. I'm going to demo, or a cushion. I'm going to just demo how. So sometimes it's quite nice to just bring the pillow right on top of that thigh. Rest your right elbow and then your head in your hand. This may be where you stay. If you're not getting much here, it's really nice to add in the left arm, bringing it over the head. Maybe the fingers interlace here. Or maybe you walk that hand, that left hand, down to your right wrist. And just letting it hang there, whatever's comfortable for you. If you need a bit more, just removing the bolster. You could even bring the bolster or cushion inside the leg so it just lowers it down, or to the outside of the leg. Or if you prefer, resting your elbow comfortably, perhaps below the knee. And just allowing that left arm to relax over your head, to dangle there. If it's too much with that left arm over the head, just bring the left hand back down on your thigh. It's adding in a little additional shoulder stretch. But if the side stretch on its own is enough, then stay here. Slowing the breath down and just noticing the sensations arising down the left side of your body. Try to avoid curling inwards. Try to keep that left shoulder moving back behind you. Maybe as things start to get a little bit more comfortable, you bring that left arm back up and see how it feels the second time. Take 5 more deep breaths here. Bring the left arm back down very slowly. Help yourself lift back up. Just pause at the top for a moment. Just bring that right leg in. Sit comfortably, however works for you. Just notice the left side of your body. The side you've just stretched. We're going to extend the left leg out to the side, or if you're mirroring me, it would be your right leg. and your right foot comes into your thigh. Same again, using the bolster if you want to, the same props apply on this side. Bringing your elbow down to the knee, above or below, and then resting your head on your left hand if you're doing the same side as me. Maybe you don't lift that right arm just yet, maybe you just allow the body to adjust to this side. Noticing how it feels on this side. Slowing the breath down, adding in the top arm, the right arm if you need to, or the left if you're mirroring me. Maybe that right hand comes behind the head, lifting the shoulder up, looking straight ahead or up towards the ceiling. Try to relax here, relaxing through the knees, the feet and the hips. Again, check in if it's too much. Bring that right hand down for a moment. Adjust yourself to the sensations. Making any final adjustments or changes to your position now for the last 5 deep breaths. Letting everything relax. Nice. Bring your right hand down and help yourself slowly, really slowly, carefully back up. Bring your left foot in if you were doing the same side as me. And just pause for a moment here. Noticing both sides now. And from here, help your legs out in front of you, allowing the knees to relax, let that blood flow return into the knees, the ankles, the feet. We're going to take a forward fold now, just very traditional, keeping the hips back, maybe moving the fleshy parts out from under your hips. Maybe bringing the knees in slightly. Feel free to put a cushion or a blanket under your knees, or even a block, depending on what you have, just to avoid the locking of the knee joint, and it just makes it a slightly more comfortable fold for the spine. I actually think this is where I'm going to stay today. If you want to put anything between you and your thighs, then you're very welcome. And all you're going to do is just very gingerly creep forwards and allow yourself to curl inwards over your thighs. Allow the forehead to move towards your knees or beyond, towards your shins. Your hands can be open, the palms could be surrendering and just resting the backs of your hands on the floor. You could go deeper by reaching for the ankles or the outer edges of your feet. Sometimes it's nice to reach the outer edges of your feet and just gently draw the feet back a little bit. It's also nice just to completely let go in this posture. Again, coming back to the breath. Slowing the breath down. If you want to make any adjustments, do so. If you're not feeling enough here, you could take a block and place it at the soles of your feet and just give you something a little bit more to reach for, keeping the knees soft. And staying here with your breath. Allowing the chest to expand on the inhale, allow for that rise and fall to happen. Slowing the breath down, inhale and exhale. Let it be smooth. Let it soothe you. Inhaling, gently creeping yourself back up. Pause at the top for a moment, just relax through the shoulders, straighten up through the back. Let your legs just enjoy the rush of blood flow down the backs of your knees into your hamstrings. Shuffle your bottom forwards. We're going to recline now down onto our backs. Just for a moment, settle your lower back into the mat. Keep your knees bent, your feet close to your bottom. And we'll just window wipe the knees. So separate the feet so they're hip width apart, and just window wipe the knees to the right and to the left. Just nice for the lower back. Again to the right and over to the left. One more time. So the next pose we're going to do is cat pulling its tail. So bring the right knee in towards you. Taking your right knee with your left hand, draw the right knee across the body. Use your left elbow and hand as a shelf to support that right knee there. Meanwhile, make sure that left shoulder is tucked under, or move it along a little bit so you can get the back of your right shoulder down on the floor. Slide your left foot up towards your bottom and see if your right fingers can reach for those left toes. Don't worry if they can't. You know that you're nearish anyway, near or thereabouts. If you can, grab hold of that foot gently, holding there, holding that right knee with your left hand. Just encourage the right shoulder down to the floor. So what's happening here is we're getting a very deep twist. You're opening out through the front, through the chest, slight back bend as that right shoulder drops down. Quite an intense thigh stretch across the right IT band as well. Tuck your chin in, making sure the back of your neck is nice and long. A lot of release happening here, so coming back to your breath. Now, if this is too much for you, if you want to put a cushion or a bolster under this right knee, that can really help, or even a block if your left hand doesn't want to bear the weight of that leg anymore. Slowing the breath. Making any final adjustments. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. Very slowly, releasing your left foot. Let that leg go long and just help your back go down back onto the mat, lowering down here. Shuffle your hips back into the middle, into the center. Just pause for a moment. It's quite nice to take the feet a little wider and let the knees just knock in as you just reflect and notice the sensations. Then we'll move to the other side. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Take hold of your left knee with your right hand. Encourage the knee over to the right. Just shuffle the right shoulder under so you can get more of your upper back down on the mat. Use your right hand as a shelf or use it to encourage the knee towards the floor. Keep that right shoulder under so the left shoulder can come down. Slide your right foot up. And maybe you have to lift a little bit to reach that foot and then settle yourself back down. It helps to slide that base knee, that right knee, under a little bit further down the mat so you can reach your right toes with your left hand. You're happy here? Just start to soften, make your adjustments if you need to make some adjustments using bolsters or blocks for your convenience to help you relax deeper. And keeping the back of your neck nice and long. Try not to squeeze too much with the hands. Try to keep the fingers relatively soft. And we'll stay here for another 5 deep breaths. You stay as you are or make the pose more intense if you need it. Keeping the breath nice and slow. Very gently releasing your right toes, help your left knee back to center, bringing the knees up with you, shuffling your hips back into the middle of your mat so you can get your lower back onto the floor again. Keep the feet wide and let the knees just knock in towards one another so that you can pause here and just take a rebound moment to reflect, to notice and observe. I'm going to let you decide if you want to stay in Shavasana to close your practice today, or if you would prefer to come into a seated position. It's whatever your body needs. Just notice any changes, any shifts in the body. I'm going to close our practice today by bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer hands, connecting the thumbs to the heart chakra, the center of your chest. And in honor of your body and your practice, I bow my head to you. Namaste. Thank you.